because he hasn't been in quote-unquote football conditioning,
What
because
is
he's been
going
sitting
on?
out so much, I just think it's the safe way to go. Again, he knows his body better than anybody. You know, their medical staff is going to evaluate him. Understand where I'm coming from. This is about a Super Bowl. You get Micah Parsons with Rashawn Gary. You get them two brothers being able to go at the quarterback. You got Jordan Love. Expectations are high. We all know the brother could play. We just look for him in big moments. But we see what they've got available with them. Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. Jordan Love is supposed to be that dude now. Okay. You got this kid Matthew Golden that's supposed to be a stud. Romeo, where Arthur Romeo Dobbs. He's on the spot. Okay. You've got a crew. Kraft is good at your tight end spot. You're looking at this Green Bay Packers team, although you look at Philadelphia and Detroit as being teams potentially standing in the way. Green Bay is right in the mix now. They got Super Bowl aspirations. You do everything you can to put yourself in prime position to make sure you can deliver.
Play him. Unleash the beast. This is a guy that I've heard you say, like one of the most physically talented people you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. He calls himself the Lion. Unleash him. What do we trade him for? Or what do we trade for him if we're just going to – are we saying sit him because you're concerned about practice and his, like, ability to get up to speed or because of the back?
First off, I didn't say sit him. I said play it smart, right? I said you got to understand what he can do.
And that's because of practice and, like, getting up to speed with what they do or because of his back?
Well, combination of his back and the fact that he hasn't been practicing, because I've heard Dan Orlovsky say on many, many occasions in the past, if a cat hasn't been out there practicing and getting himself in football shape, you might want to be a.
And you heard it from Dan Orlovsky.
I've heard it from Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, you're a great listener.
Damn right.
You're a great
damn
listener.
Right. Damn right.
You know what? You know what you don't know, and you are brilliant.
That's right.
Because you listen to those who are.
Because I listen to those who know. And I steal it from y'all. Y'all teach me football. I get it from y'all. That's why I love. That's why I love. I'm waiting for you to say stuff. Like
You're in the corner right now.
I got the tape. I got the tape. And I think I've proven I watch y'all. You understand what I'm saying? How many times have I quoted you? I see you everywhere.
Yeah. So you think
taking on the double team?
You think we don't want to play him because of his back, but 5 or 6 days later, let's get him on the field. The back is gonna resolve itself in a week?
No, I didn't say the back. I said that he hadn't been practicing.
He plays defensive end. Go get the ball, quarterback.
The combination, you can pull a hamstring, anything happens.
Here's my thing.
Make sure you play.
I say play it smart.
Who's the best division of football?
The North.
Okay. Yeah. So the Vikings went what? I think 14-3.
They were 14-2 before they nosedived the last two games. Right. The last game regular season.
14-3. You gotta let go of that. You gotta Elsa that thing.
I mean, they got their ass kicked. And y'all.
All right, Elsa. All right, Elsa. Let go of it.
Sam Darnold.
So you mean to tell me?
Your guy.
So the Vikings are 14-3. The Lions are 15-2. The Bears should be significantly improved. We're just gonna say, hey, we traded for this guy that's a generational talent, ridiculous football player, defensive player of the year candidate. Let's sit him because he hasn't been practicing in a divisional game.
Yeah, you keep talking that way. When you have a discussion for me, you can turn this way.
But you said sit because you said play it safe.
So what do you think? Is one game? Tell me, is one game going to make a difference? Honestly,
my thing is play it safe based on the evaluation of his back, right? Because the thing is this: if you signed him to a one-year deal. If Micah Parsons was on some sort of deal that allowed him to re-up after this season, if he was playing on the tag, then that's a different thing. Everybody has a different motivation. This motivation is about winning a Super Bowl. And it's not just about winning this Super Bowl. It's about trying to get to another Super Bowl in the 5 years that you have him signed for a landmark, historic deal for a non-quarterback. And so my thought is this. If Micah Parsons is struggling with the back, if the back is a little tight, let's use him in passing situations. Let's use him in 2 minutes. Let's use him in the red zone. Let's use him on third down. Because what this does is allows him to get acclimated without having the extensive training camp time that the rest of the people have had, and he gets to do exactly what you said, which is go get the quarterback.
Your vantage point isn't specific to just the Lions game. It's like the start of the season, easing him into the start of the season rather than just – so you're saying play him, but maybe not 80 snaps.
And that's what I'm saying. If his back is fine, play him as much as you want to. I'm not worried about that.
We see it the same way.
Because what happens is if his cardio isn't where it needs to be, he's not a quarterback. He gets to say, hey, get me out. And so, but my thing is, if Micah Parsons playing more snaps, if Micah Parsons being on the field somehow puts him in a position where you can hinder who he is for the rest of this season, that's not smart football if I'm just trying to prove to people, look why I got this Lion because we're playing the Lion.
Final word, essay.
No. I'm leaving it to them. I got it. I heard where I stand. I'm not thinking about just the back. I'm thinking about the fact that he hadn't been practicing. Matter of fact, we saw him walk into a couple of preseason games, eating nachos, chilling. You understand?
You saying his body fat high?
I'm just trying to say. I'm just saying anything. Listen. We've seen non-contact injuries take place in football all the damn time. All I'm trying to say is make sure you're ready to go. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you're ready to go. That's all. It's not a big deal.
We got to toughen him up a little bit.
Curtain became a dynasty, and you're looking at Mr. Rooney and you're feeling like you let him down. When Coach LeBeau is asking what he can do better, that's why it's not a party. And the reason that winning the Super Bowl in New York felt like every day in Dallas is because in New York, they understand they got to go try to win it again and be great. In Dallas, they just wanted to have a good time and be talked about.
It's America's team. It's the bright lights. Yeah. It's Jerry. It's everything. It's all a part of it. You bring up 81% of the league hasn't been alive since they won a Super Bowl. 81% of the league hasn't been alive since they got to the NFC Conference Championship game.
That is correct.
Same thing, right? They before they can even win a Super Bowl, they got to get to the Conference Championship.
Right.
Can't do that either right now.
Got to crawl before you walk. Meanwhile, Eagles favored by 8. We got a game Friday as well, gentlemen. The Chiefs and Chargers facing off in Brazil. Now, in their last game at Arrowhead, that was Week 14, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert both accounted for a passing touchdown. However, it was the Chiefs who came out on top. 19-17, they clinched their 9th straight AFC West title. Unbelievable. It's been rough outings the last time we saw both of these quarterbacks. Mahomes didn't look like himself. He threw 2 interceptions in the Chiefs' Super Bowl loss against the Eagles, while Justin Herbert threw 4 INTs in the Chargers' wildcard loss against the Texans. 4 INTs, Dan. Dan, who needs to get to a great start more? Is it Mahomes or Herbert?
Patrick Mahomes. In one expectation, Patrick Mahomes is warranted and earned the right to be in conversations that very few have gotten into. All-time greats. Molly, you just talked about, and I said post-Super Bowl is the worst game that I had seen Patrick play. So he's coming off of a game that he just struggled mightily. Third thing is, this offense for the past 2 years, and like football team for the past 2 years, in many ways been carried by their defense in Kansas City. It just has been. Objectively, the defense has been the better unit than the offense. So there is a little bit of, not in my eyes, to be clear, not in my eyes, but I do think in the public's eyes in some way, there's a little bit of shine off of it. There's a little bit of tarnish off of it. There's a little bit of like, you guys were a facade at 15-1 last year in the games that you tried to win, and you finally ran into a dominant defense and they smoked you in the Super Bowl, and you're not Tom Brady, and you don't belong to be or deserve to be in the conversation with Tom Brady, and your defense has carried you for 2 years. So I do think it's important. All the conversation we've heard in Kansas City, the deep ball is back. They invest a first-round pick in a left tackle. The offensive line's a little bit remade again. They've got a lot of weapons on the outside that can go vertical now. I think it's important for Patrick and this offense to come hit the ground running and say, this is a new version of us in that Super Bowl. While it happened,